talking about Indiana Jones 5. We've not talked about this for a little while now. We were talking about it when they were actually filming here in Glasgow.
I spoke about it not so long ago, but in the context of trolls.
Trolls, yeah.
Online.
Yeah, well,
attacking things before it's even fucking out.
Indiana Jones 5 details what it was like on set of movie. Indiana Jones 5 star Mads Mikkelsen details what his experience was like on the set of the upcoming film, teasing an authentic indie experience. Now, this coming in from Screen Rant once more, John. I'm just going to read just a slight bit of this story because it's quite in depth, but this will give you the sort of crux of the matter here. In a new interview with Variety at the Sarajevo Film Festival, Mikkelsen remains tight-lipped about the film's finer details, but describes what his experience was like on set. The actor teases a truly authentic experience during filming, saying that everything from the set design to Ford's costume made it feel like a real Indiana Jones film. Mikkelsen also describes the experience as going back to the scratch, hinting that although times have changed, Indiana Jones 5 will still feel the same as it did back in the 1980s. And this is what he had to say. Well, it's very short and sweet from Mads, but as usual, he's got plenty to say in his films. But when
plenty to say about Johnny Depp coming back as Gellert Grindelwald, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
that is not going to happen, Mads.
He hopes not. But every day of shooting felt like a real Indiana Jones film. It felt like going back to the scratch. Everything looked like it. Harrison was wearing his clothes. It was just a brilliant experience. I don't know.
Harrison was wearing his clothes.
Yeah, well, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing that thing he did with Carrie Fisher, naked in her wardrobe, with just pretending he was like hanging. Back in the Empire Strikes Back days. But John, do we have a release date for Indiana Jones 5 yet? Is it still?
Don't know, Stephen, but I tell you what, I don't agree with that link in the article. Why Indiana Jones 5 is perfect for Harrison Ford's final movie. We don't want to see the end of Harrison Ford at this age. Your man is in his late 70s.
Yeah.
If Clint Eastwood's still acting in his 90s, albeit he's finished now, I think, why can Harrison not give us another 15 years of acting goodness? He's in brilliant shape.
Yep.
I'd say he's in better shape than me just now.
He always has been, John.
A lot fucking older. Indiana Jones 5, I will see if I can find the release date, Stephen, if we have one. 30th of June 2023. So it's a summer release next year. And again, you speak about release dates. That feels perfect to me.
Summer film,
summer release. Yeah. This is the very fucking living epitome of a big blockbuster summer release. Indiana Jones. And if it's done right, it could be really, really special.
Yep.
It's Mangold, isn't it? James Mangold's the director.
Yeah.
He was tipped to do a Boba Fett movie.
Spielberg and Lucas are on as producers as usual.
Yeah. And that's always a good thing to have Stephen in there doing his thing, because the man's got the touch. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Try to think what else Mangold has done. He did Logan, I believe.
He did the Wolverine as well.
The Wolverine.
Yeah.
And he's done another one.
He's a good director, John.
Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah, I love that film. Absolutely.
He's a fantastic director, Stephen. But the most important thing is he seems to be a genuine fan of Indiana Jones as well. So he understands the movies, what makes them tick, what makes the character tick. He's got a passion for it. So's Kathleen Kennedy. She's got a passion for it. She was involved in the first three with her husband, Frank. So they produced those movies, and you've got these little dipshit fucking trolls on YouTube. They know who they are. On social media, they know who they are. Just getting after, get a hard on for Kennedy. Look, I'm not Kennedy's biggest fan when it comes to Star Wars. I think she should be no clear Star Wars. She's clearly not a huge fan of Star Wars, and she's made a pig's ear of micromanaging those movies. But one thing you can't say is, over the course of her career, she's a bad producer. She knows what she's doing when it comes to producing movies. She was involved with these great Indiana Jones movies. I have no issues with her being on the set. She's a fucking producer, that's her job. Working on Indiana Jones 5, they were coming after the movie a week into shooting because she was on the set. They were attacking James Mangold on Twitter, saying the movie was going to be terrible. It's just the epitome of what's wrong with modern day society. Social media, the culture it surrounds it, the toxicity. It's a joke. And even Mangold had to come out and say, look, can you just wait until the movie's shot? Even maybe until you've seen a teaser. Give it a fucking chance before you write it off.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's a great director.
The cynic in a lot of people, John, when the director has to come out and say those things, then looks at the sort of negative stuff, don't they? And, obviously he's going to say this, it's all about self-preservation, blah 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 and all that, but when you get like some Mads Mikkelsen from and saying he had a great experience filming this film, just felt like the old Indiana Jones films, and I don't know if it's having this thing like the last one still or not, which was it was a massive letdown, let's be honest, and there was a big jump in sort of feel and vibe to that film from the previous three as well. Yeah.
But I'll not cut you off, Steve.
No, I was finished anyway, John.
Quentin Tarantino saying, he was out the other week on a podcast, and he was asked what his favourite Indiana Jones movie was. Not his favourite. He asked what I think he was asked what his least favourite was. He prefers the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull to the fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, the one with Sean Connery.
Last Crusade.
The Last Crusade.
Yeah.
He prefers that
one.
terrible fourth movie to, I believe, the third was it or the second?
Knowing Quentin, I think perhaps he's maybe looking at it from a filmmaking point of view, though, John. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's, I don't know.
Oh, he says he hated the Connery character. He says it was a remake of some fucking late 80s, 90s movie. A similar theme was explored to some other movie. He got the character within settings.
They did that a lot, didn't they? They sort of get the father in, or the father figure, or they go the other way and get the young son, like the Mummy did with the sequels. Which never works when they do that with the kids. But I didn't mind it. I thought the chemistry between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery was just perfect. Not much of an age gap between them in real life. I think maybe about 9 or 10 years or something like
mad,
that.
Isn't it?
It's a bit weird, but I thought they worked really well, and I liked the story as well. It's far-fetched as it was, let's be honest with you, unless you're a bit of a believer in certain things. I thought it was an enjoyable film. I thought it was really good. The banter as well was fantastic.
You don't believe in the Lord Saviour Jesus Christ?
I don't believe in the whole
and the Holy Grail
Nazi thing, John. The whole
they certainly believed in the occult.
Yeah, they did,
for sure.
but I didn't believe in them. So
bunch of fucking weirdos. They certainly did believe in the occult.
Yeah, but it was the right blend of humour and all that. I felt that was missing from the Crystal Skull. I just felt that it was as if they never went back and watched the first 3 films, and they just thought, he looks like that and he's got a whip, let's just point the camera. And there was just such a time gap, and I know there's another time gap again with this one, but there's something about, you can look back at your mistakes and correct them, and I think that's what probably James Mangold, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas will look at, and Kathleen Kennedy will look at what the issues were in that 4th film and say, right, we can't repeat that. It was just something I don't think anyone's ever been able to pinpoint, other than maybe the writing was a bit off, and the whole feel to it was a bit off, but I don't think anyone can pinpoint.
A bad movie, Stephen.
I think there were the expectations as well at that point, because
there's a freneticism with Indiana Jones that I always, when I watch the movies, I forget how unrelenting the pace is, how fun it is watching it. It's a ride.
Yep.
It feels like I don't know if it's been made into a theme park ride over in the States or whatever, but
probably
if any franchise is going to make a themed ride, it's Indiana Jones. It's
certainly the Temple of Doom, with that
exactly
the mine thing going on,
It's 150 miles an hour, not even 100 miles an hour, the entire movie, unrelenting. Even when Indy's nearly dying, it's like 20 seconds and then he's back on the screen and we're kicking back into the story. That's what you need that vibe. Stephen, look, it goes back to what we spoke about the other day with the Goonies. It's very difficult to recapture movies of that era's spirit, the vibe they had, and replicate it in the current day. I don't know what it is, they just can't seem to do it. I think it's a over-reliance in CG and visual effects, whereas back then they didn't have it, it was practical, and the movies felt and looked tangible. They were different.
They were new as well, John.
They were fresh.
When you look at it, it's something that they went into these films. You mentioned the Goonies, the Gremlins, they were going into something that had never been explored. Nothing was really, there was no high expectations for these films to succeed either, and they were like lightning in a bottle. Quite a lot of films in the 80s. Sequels are a tougher thing, because you're coming back and you try to replicate the same sort of chemistry and vibe, but with a different story, and take it in a fresh direction. If you're clever enough, you can do that. If you're a good writer, you can do that. And sometimes it doesn't work. Gremlins 2 did not work. It's the same cast almost. Add Christopher Lee in there, you think you're wrong. Something just not good about it. I think it was just you said, John, that
Time
period
change,
just moved on from it, and I don't think we'll ever get back to that either. I think people's attention spans are not the same as they used to be.
Fuck me, I lost 2 hours last night on TikTok. Even I'm falling into it, honestly. 2 hours, man, and down a rabbit hole. Pranksters, twin guys.
Yeah, I've seen that one when I was on the phone and they walked by.
Fucking great, man. Honestly, I just went down a fucking rabbit hole. 2 hours lost to TikTok, so I'm getting sucked into it, and I'm not even the fucking demographic. I don't feel anyway. There's people my age and older on TikTok, but I feel it's for a younger demographic. But even I'm getting sucked into it. That's what it's like.
We're on TikTok, by the way.
Are we on TikTok? Didn't you realise that?
Yeah. Our famous Book of Boba Fett clip is on there.
Yeah, that's a good platform.
Yeah,
it's a good platform. It's short form. It's different.
They're all doing it now, John. YouTube's got their own version of
Shorts,
it.
Yeah. That's actually
Instagram as well. Yeah.
The actual prank thing. Then I was on TikTok. It came up again. I'm like, it's just meant to be me watching these guys. But Steve, the actual story as well. Indiana Jones 5. There was a leaked script. I don't know if it's actually true or not, but it's legit. But I liked the vibes from the leaked script. That it was the space race.
Yeah.
It was Operation Paperclip.
Yep.
The Nazis, top scientist guys, were recruited from Nazi Germany post World War II. They were given pardons for their terrible crimes.
Is this one going to be set in the 60s?
Set in the 60s, by all accounts. And it's your man. It's a true story, Operation Paperclip. The guy who was in charge of the American space race at NASA, head of NASA, was a fucking absolute Nazi, a top Nazi in Nazi Germany. He was recruited by the American government, put in charge of he was also a fucking rocket scientist, put in charge of NASA.
I thought you were just going to say he was an absolute
rocket. He was clearly a rocket as well, but Stephen, it's well known if you search it up, man. Paperclip, they stole, them and the Russians stole the top scientists from Nazi Germany. That's what this apparently is delving into, the actual story. The Nazis infiltrating, maybe not acquiescing as well as they should, creating some issues, and it's a race to try and stop them. It's always Nazis that are involved in these Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah,
always.
They make the best villains, John.
They do. Let's be honest. Because you've got Thomas Kretschmann, I think, in there as well. He always plays Nazis.
They always sort of jump a decade. I might be wrong. Maybe somebody can correct us, but I think Crystal Skull was set in the 50s, because I remember Shia LaBeouf had the sort of James Dean look.
Yeah.
The quiff and the leather jacket and all that going on, the motorcycle, and I think it just sort of tracks back. If you work your way back the way in these films, it goes back to, obviously, as you said, John, World War II. I think it's just a natural step, although naturally I think you're talking Indiana Jones is a good 4 decades old now, so technically we should actually be in the 1980s, but
Steve, you look at the cast. Phoebe Waller-Bridge in there. She's always brilliant, hilarious, truly talented person, writer, actor, director. Antonio Banderas is in there. Mads Mikkelsen. I can't think of anyone better to play a mad scientist. He's already done it, really, in Rogue One.
Yeah.
You've got Boyd Holbrook. Strikes me as being a goody two-shoes. Thomas Kretschmann, as I say, always plays Nazis and plays them really well. Toby Jones, basically the Marvel hat Nazis. Hydra. Oliver Richters. What does that sound like? It sounds German, doesn't it? Mark Kieran, it might not be German, but his name's Pontimus. And fuck me, does he look German or what? Even if the leaked script isn't correct, I feel like they're setting it up so there's going to be Germans in this story. And there's the time period, the space race, it all seems to fit. I like the story. I think the story sounds really interesting. Harrison's been on another level since he's been doing these newer sequels. I thought he was the best thing in The Force Awakens. Truly funny in it, brilliantly acted. He had tender moments. The moment with obviously Kylo, Ben, was a decent moment.
His chemistry with John Boyega as well was fantastic.
Brilliant,
You just call me Solo.
It was great. So he's been on a decent run. So I trust him to not just go out and make this on the sole reason that I'll just get it done because we can get it done.
And
he wants this to be good.
Yeah, and remember, Harrison Ford prefers the character over Han Solo as well. So if he put a performance in for a character he doesn't really care for, let's be honest, he absolutely loves Indiana Jones. He loves working on those films. I think this is going to be an epic film, John. I'm not just saying that.
I don't normally greenlight sequels getting made. From diminishing returns, and it's kind of has been that way with Indiana, to be fair. The actual franchise, it's not really. I mean, I'm trying to think of the actual sequential ordering. I like Raiders of the Lost Ark. I like The Last Crusade.
Yeah, Temple of Doom is the second one.
Well, to be fair, it's not diminishing returns in for me. But also the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was terrible.
Yeah.
But this is different. We need to right the wrongs of that movie. We have to have a really good Indiana Jones movie for Harrison at least.
Yeah.
And then to get it up all those little shit kickers on social media and on YouTube.
I do believe it will be a good film, John, by the sounds of it. But it remains to be seen. Just before we move on, if you've any thoughts on Indiana Jones 5, do you think this film should have been made? Are you looking forward to seeing Harrison Ford reprise the role? You think it will stand up against the other sequels, except for Crystal Skull, because that's Tarantino's favourite one apparently? And also, any other comments you want to make on Indiana Jones, just drop the comments below. We will reply to it. We always reply to everything on this channel.
Unless we don't like it.
That's the kind of people we are. We never delete anything though, so we might not agree with it, but we will reply to it. But we're going to move on, John.